Hey, my name is Emmanuel TABAT. I'm being known as TABAT, but unfortunately, all my siblings usually use that name. I remember when a friend of my younger brother came home and he knocked at the gate. My dad then came out, and my younger brother's friend told him that he's looking for TABAT. And my dad was like, "Who?" Because that's his name too. He had to specify. So all of us like that. And that's why I stole it quickly before my brothers. I am a musician, a guitarist, a songwriter, not a very great singer. And I just released an album, Rejoice and Be Glad, the album. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you a bit more about myself and also the album. So let's dive in. My musical background. I was born in a musical family. Both my father and my mom were choristers. In fact, it was during all this choir stuff that they met. My dad met my mom and they married each other. So we grew up in a musical home. They go to church, perform in the choir, and then we had a lot of music and music videos there. My parents weren't strictly gospel music singing or listening people. So we had both the gospel and the secular songs that we listened to. I grew up in a music home, like it was there. But then I started learning to play the instrument around 10 years of age with the keyboard then. My uncle, who lives very close to our house then, was the choir director of the church, and the church bought a keyboard that he usually keeps at home. So he was the one that started teaching me how to play the instrument. I still remember the first song that I learned on the keyboard, and that's profound. Anyways, for ministry, I am a Christian. Yeah, so definitely I would use my musical knowledge to propagate the gospel. Bible says, whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. So that's it. That's how I got into it. Though some of my songs, I have written songs that are not really gospel per se, but they do not in any way contradict who I am in Christ and what God has commanded us to do. Yeah. I have also ministered to people. In fact, it was ministration to people that led me to even start songwriting in itself. Yeah, there's actually a unique story that connects to this album. The melody has been in my head for close to 20 years, but I wrote the song sometime in the middle of last year, around May last year. As about the time that I started writing the song, I was in Saudi Arabia working as a medical doctor. Yes, I am a medical doctor. I'd been in Saudi Arabia since 2021, and then by 2024, around June, my family was leaving, my wife and my two kids then. She was heavily pregnant for our third baby, and we agreed that it doesn't make sense for her to give birth there as there's not enough support for us. So she decided to go home with the kids pending when I'll come and bring them back. So I was going to be alone for a while, and Saudi Arabia is not really known for strong social connections. And also I was having a few challenges at work. Work was really having a toll on me. The demand was very high, so I come back exhausted. Like the workload, many people that complain when I share how much I was really suffering there in terms of the number of patients I see and how the environment can be quite unruly sometimes. Families to help me. As I come back, I have my wife to talk with. I have my kids to just help distract me from this thing. And they were leaving, I was going to be alone. So I needed that song. I completed it. But then one thing I know is that as humans, we're more likely to focus on the bad and the good and not appreciate the good that is happening. Why I am in Saudi Arabia is many people's prayer point. I'm a YouTuber. I do videos on that, and many people have reached out to me wanting to come to Saudi Arabia. Even till date that I've left Saudi Arabia, many people want to go there. So it's very, very easy for you to be ungrateful for where you are. But what you fail to realize is that where you currently are is many people's prayer points too. So the devil will want to steal your joy. It's something I usually share with my wife. If Satan could make Adam and Eve feel like the Garden of Eden wasn't enough, they had everything to eat except for the fruit in one tree. They had every other thing to eat, and still they felt it wasn't enough. Then who am I to just think that I am impervious or immune to the devil trying to distract me with the way the world is and everything like that? So it's very easy for you to just focus on the bad or allow something to just steal your joy. Whereas if you really look at it, there are more things working for you than against you. That led to the song itself. And this song was a song that I wrote personally to encourage me through this. And it actually worked for me, especially when I'm having my devotion. I want to start that with something like this too. So either I sing the song or something similar. And yeah, so it's very personal. At the point in time, I just felt it was time to share this with the world because I think many people really need this message. It's quite depressing out there. Things aren't really getting better per se, but let's just know that God's got us. That's it for that. How would I describe my sound? I don't know. I really don't know how to describe myself. Yeah, I am certainly influenced by some certain style of music, but more of the laid back, cool kind of music guy. And I don't know how to dance, so I would not do a danceable song. I think it's just one or two of my songs that are really danceable per se. That's because I don't know how to dance. I just like songs that you can fake it by just bump your head. I'm more of the alternative kind of musician. Kenny has pushed me to do some certain styles that I never thought in my head I was going to do. Kenny is my producer, by the way, and other people that I've worked with, like Kungas too, and Mandu Johnson, they've helped push me to try some certain things. But since I am a guitarist, an acoustic guitarist per se, I stay around that acoustic soft rock space. Yeah. Next question. Who are your primary influences? Definitely my parents. But then as they grow older, they became terrible singers. Yeah, adulting. And I don't blame them. I'm understanding why now by the time. Music is like that. It's not really natural per se. There are arguments for that. But when you leave it, it leaves you. The less often you sing, the less often you play, the more terrible you sound. It's like that. But then, personally, growing up, when I really took music seriously was when I recommitted my life to Christ and started listening to a lot of gospel music, and that helped me to a large extent. I would say Don Moen, my first influence is Don Moen. And I have friends, the Kuhils, that pushed Buffy to me like very well. So Don Moen, I like him like by default. He's my guy. And when you listen to the kind of songs I do, you understand, yeah, this guy, yeah, because I love his simple approach to songs, very simple. And it's challenging that, or it's very interesting too, that anytime you hear him sing or play God is Good, whatever, for whichever time, that tell you that he does with the instrumental, same progression, the same sound, nothing absurd, nothing like I just love the simplicity, and that's it for me. It's good to be skillful, but then in the process of being complex, you might distract people from the main theme and the rest. That's how I stand. So don't mind. But then when it comes to songwriting, I think the person that has influenced me the most is Matt Redman. Yeah, because Matt Redman was the one I listened to most, and it started pushing me towards songwriting. So Matt Redman is there. Robin Mack. Yeah, when it comes to style of sound, I love Robin Mack's style. Many people don't know Robin Mack, but there's this song that he did, Days of Elijah. These are the days of Elijah. He's the one that wrote that song. Then I had started listening to other people too, and to a certain extent, I've been trying to just experiment, but these are my major influences in music. This is my first album, and it's like a mistake. I have an album that I'm working towards. So maybe sometime next year I'm going to release it. But this is my first album. I've released a couple of singles. The first single was in 2015, and that one was an accident. Mandu Johnson then has started a studio. I just entered that time. And I was like, Mandu, let's do something. And we did Y316. It's a Hausa song. Y316 means Y is Johanna, that's John 3:16. So it was talking about the love of God for the who know that Bible passage now. So yeah, something simple, and we did that. The initial part was not really good though, if you hear the original version then, but then it was a bit better eventually, the final product. I don't have that voice, so, but it's not going to stop me from singing. Video for another day. And 2015 then, we didn't really know much about social media, so it was more of sharing with friends and friends sharing with friends. There was no way to trace things, but then I don't know how it did. Those that received it well, and with a few inputs and the rest, I started learning. But then the next song I released was Dear Heart. The first one was in 2017, and then the official one was 2018. And it was through Kenny. I met Kenny through Adi Easy, the Sunari guy, is my guy. Well. So I was going to play guitar for one of Adi's songs, and Kenny was the one producing it. He was going to move to Lagos then, and he was like, I want to do one song with you before you go. And he did it actually free of charge. I didn't pay him. The only thing I did was to pay for fuel that Bobo put for Jen, made them producer. That was it. That was the only thing. And he did Dear Heart. Dear Heart was well received. Till date, I still believe it's my most well received song. And they had, not be me right now, I just wrote the second part, but it was written by my very good friend Manji Josh Wilson. And that song really was well accepted. Till date, many people still love it more than my other songs. And I understand why. That is what it is. Subsequent work, I've just been there. No buzz, nothing. I don't actively promote my stuff. I just do the stuff and just share them. But for this album, Rejoice and Be Glad, I just believe that many people need to hear that. And that's why I was more aggressive in trying to push it so it gets to the right people too. I believe many people need to hear that song. So I never blew. I don't even know if I'm going to blow. So far, someone somewhere, even if it's one person that listens to this song and it helps him or her in this life, me, I'm happy. I can spend the money for that particular person to be reached. I don't even know I'm going to cope with fame, because to a certain extent, I'm a private person. Yeah, I do social media, but then I still like my private space. So make I no come blow, make it push me too much or expose my family to some kind attention I no want. You get, so it's a mixture for me. You want to do something to impact people.